aboard! All aboard! Ah, well, hello there. So, you're getting on this train, huh? You know, I've been conducting this train for a good couple of years now. Been through a lot with her. I remember the "I got nothing up my butt" incident back in 2019. There was also the Florida man who threw a Bible at a police officer. Oh, and don't get me started about the year 2020. Oh boy. So listen, if you're new here, I gotta read this this piece of paper for you. It's sort of a legal thing, you know. Here we go. Warning. The following show may feature some adult language and adult scenarios that are not suitable for those under the age of 18 to 21 years old. If you are under this age, please consult your parents and or legal guardians for permission to listen to this show. Listener discretion is strongly advised. Well, with that out of the way, will you still be getting on? Excellent. Well, let me just punch your ticket for you. And welcome to Trademark's Trainwreck. Good evening, passengers, and welcome to tonight's episode of Trademark's Trainwreck, a show featured on Celestia Radio, all fandom all the time. With me here tonight is RandomGreymane.
Hello.
And Sherlock.
Evening.
We will be joined later by TheFangirl, probably in the middle of this opening segment. So, before we start, as is evident by the thumbnail and the title of this video in the YouTube iteration, but for those who aren't aware, as of the recording of this episode, it is January 20th, 2021. It is Inauguration Day in the United States of America of the 46th President of the United States.
I have tears.
Now, we here at Trademark's Trainwreck tend to stray away from politics. However, for 5 minutes, I'm going to allow my co-host to just let out all of their emotions because this has been a 4-year-long bandage that needs ripping. So, gentlemen, and eventually Fanny, commence.
I have to wonder how much stuff has been stolen from the White House.
Probably a bit.
Right? I mean, we already saw
to be honest, like
we saw the picture of the stuffed bird being removed. So
yeah, there's a Lincoln bus. I'm not sure if it's the Lincoln bus, but there was a Lincoln bus that was removed. Anyway, I've only got a couple things to talk about personally. One, I find utterly stupid and hilarious that when Drumpf, I refuse to use his real name because actually Drumpf was the name his ancestors actually had before they came to the United States.
Yeah,
and that's a much more fitting name for him. As John Oliver said, Drumpf is the word the sound that comes to mind when you think of a pigeon flying into a window. Drumpf. He during his walk off out of the White House, he had YMCA playing, by the
Oh,
village
God, yes.
people.
Did
And
he?
I'm like, why?
I thought someone said he had Frank Sinatra's "My Way" playing.
He had
No.
that too, but he had both. He had My Way and
Why the YMCA?
YMCA. I don't
don't know.
know. I also don't understand My Way because, in all honesty, like if you listen to the lyrics, he did exactly the opposite of what Frank Sinatra was describing in that song.
Yeah.
Well, you got to remember, this is also the group of people that were playing Fortunate Son at his rallies. Okay, and Fortunate Son is not something they should be playing as
It's not something that should be played by the GOP.
right,
Absolutely not at all.
exactly.
You know what it is? I think he wanted to have that other song that's "My Way." You know, I want it my way or some shit.
By the Backstreet Boys?
I don't
Maybe.
know. That's pretty much the fucking tune he was playing while he was in the last days of his tenure.
Although one other thing that I do find absolutely hilarious about him leaving was if you look at this, somebody got pictures of all of the Trump family exiting the White House, and all of them look miserable. However, in the 4 years that they have been the first family, I've never seen Melania smile so much in my life.
Yep.
You're shitting
She
me.
is so going to divorce his ass. She's going to be gone.
She's going to be gone. She's like, I'm done. Baron, we are going back to Scandinavia. We are going to stay with Grandma and Grandpa. Say goodbye to the giant fleshy orange blob that is the man who gave his biology to make you. No, Donald, you're not coming. Mel, where are you going?
Okay. Oh God.
You know,
okay, I do have one little bit of good news. It's not funny. It's actually very serious, and it's a very good thing for us to talk about here.
Okay.
So, do you guys remember Eugene Goodman, the capital city officer that led the rioters on a chase through the Senate halls up the stairs to try and lead them away from the senators and Mike Pence and his family?
Yep.
Biden has named him acting sergeant at arms for the U.S. House.
Yes, excellent. That is excellent.
He was there providing. He was there helping provide security detail for Jill Biden on Inauguration Day. So, and Kamala Harris and the first gentleman, or the second gentleman, excuse me.
I will. There's only one security thing that I will mention, and that I am very, very glad that we didn't get a sniper attempt. Okay. It was a slight possibility. Okay, but two of the people that were part of the National Guard that has connections to alt-right organizations, okay, aka Nazis, were removed from duty, okay, from the Capitol. They just said, no, you have connections with these groups, you're out of here. And I am very, very glad that we did not have an incident, but we could have. Okay,
I actually foresee in the next few months that there are going to be a lot of there's going to be a lot of cleaning house, at least from the federal and military levels. I don't think there's not going to be cleaning a house in the local law enforcement. No, not at all. But like FBI, NSA, DEA, all the major like federal law enforcement agencies and the military are going to start looking real close at the people that they've hired. And they're going to start kicking some folk out.
I will say that I will be very happy not only with the federal house cleanings, but if the family of Blue decides to prune their family tree, which it is desperately needed. And that's all I'll say about that matter. And I think we're at time.
Yep, we are at time. It has been 5 minutes, very brief, and I will conclude by saying, thank God that's over, and let's just fucking move on. Like, good fucking God. We've got a long way to go. It's going to be an uphill battle, but I'd rather have an uphill battle than a careening drop.
One closing meme. Somebody posted the little gardening boy with the red shirt and the lawnmower. You know that meme you've seen? and
Yeah.
Joe Biden on the stairs going, "Okay, it's over. You can come in and get a drink now."
But one thing I just do want to say, folks, for everyone listening, it's not over yet. Okay, we removed the polyp, but the cancer's still there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like I said, uphill battle. It's better than a
Okay.
careening drop, but it's an uphill battle.
All right. Well, what's falling off the garbage truck for us today?
Yes, what better to unify everyone, regardless of political parties, than laughing at dumb shit? So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Trademark's Trainwreck. When we're not avoiding politics like the plague, or in this case, fully embracing it for just a brief moment, we talk about dumb news articles that pop up on my radar over the course of a week or so. We got the softcore material, which is coming up after this upcoming musical interlude where we take a behind-the-scenes break. We also have a hardcore material segment that comes after another musical interlude / break. Anything y'all want to talk about beyond politics before we start this shit?
Nah, let's get going.
No, but I will say that we have one more classic Florida man in residence now.
Oh no, that's right.
Who's this?
He went to Florida.
He went to Florida.
He's in your state now.
Oh, right. I don't care either way. Man is off my radar. What's not off my radar, though, is the
Moving on.
dumb news, which we will move on to after this short musical interlude. You're listening to Trademark's Trainwreck on Celestial Radio, all Phantom all the time. Except when we don't talk about politics from this night forward. Woo!
And bananas.
And bananas.
All I'm saying is that removing the banana from your computer feels good and is productive.
I thought this was going to be a safe for work show for once.
Ladies and gentlemen.
No.
Ladies and
I
gentlemen.
didn't talk about wait a minute. What show did you think you were on?
Ladies and gentlemen, that is what we like to call an inside joke. Also, welcome back to Trademark's Trainwreck, a show featured on Celestial Radio, all fandom all the time. It's time to start this episode, folks.
We have to.
Yes.
The train has left. There's no way to get off yet.
And the fan burp has christened this episode. Yay. Okay. I've got a short and simple one for you. Monkey see, monkey do. And sometimes monkeys should just not.
No.
I hate monkeys.
I do not want monkey do.
Well, it doesn't involve monkeys, but do as my shirt says, not as I do. A North Dakota man on probation for narcotics possession was wearing a Don't Do Drugs t-shirt when he was arrested for methamphetamine possession.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
Ezekiel Robles. I apologize if I mispronounced that. 40 years old.
Who cares?
Who cares?
You'd be amazed. He was collared following a traffic stop in Williston. A search of his vehicle turned up a baggie containing meth and a spoon with meth residue, according to a probable cause affidavit filed in district court. Charged?
Not mine.
Not this.
It's not mine.
That's not my spoon. That's not my spoon.
That's not my
I
spoon.
don't know where that spoon came.
That's not my spoon.
Anyway.
Hey, buddy.
That's not my spoon, buddy. And these syringes aren't mine either.
Let's keep going here.
Yeah.
I couldn't resist. That's an old school joke from the pre-YouTube days, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that's in our trailer. Charged with narcotics possession and possession of drug paraphernalia, Ezekiel was booked into the Williams County Jail, where the mugshot featuring his t-shirt was snapped. Ezekiel was convicted in late 2019 for meth possession and was sentenced to 3 years in prison, 2 of which were suspended, and placed on 2 years probation upon his departure from custody. Ezekiel is scheduled for a bond hearing on, today! Congratulations! He's also got a preliminary hearing on February 17th. And by today, folks, I mean January 20th, the day we're recording this, and the article was written on January 15th, 2021.
It's funny because that shirt shows up as being sold on AliExpress, so that's not an old shirt.
I wouldn't doubt if this T-shirt was like seen in like the fucking Hot Topic or some shit. For those needing visual on the actual broadcast of this episode on celestiaradio.com every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Shameless plug. Ezekiel here is wearing a shirt featuring a devil-like creature, a red man with tiny little devil horns and black demon wings, offering aid to a upset child. And the above caption that is hovering over these two, having a nice tender moment, is "Don't do drugs."
Yeah, I think the message is kind of skewed here.
Yeah, just a wee bit. Just nicely done, my dude. Nicely done.
I mean, what's that old Fresh Prince of Bel-Air mean? He's trying. He's not very smart about it, but he's trying.
I like this boy. I like his energy. He's a little confused, but I like his energy.
Yeah, that's what it is. Excuse me.
So yeah, nice, short, and sweet. Moving on. Okay. I saw this and I was just like, you can't write this shit. This next article here. You remember that old classic stereotype of cops liking coffee and donuts?
Yeah.
It's not a stereotype. It's true.
Yeah, I was.
Honestly, though, almost everybody likes fucking donuts and coffee.
Well, yes, and surely I was hesitant to say that because the other day I saw a cop pulling into a Dunkin' Donuts. I'm just like, well, but yeah, this guy.
Some of them use their lights to get to their Dunkin' Donuts.
I wouldn't doubt it. But yeah,
I was given crap because a couple years ago because we had somebody bring the bailiffs. That's what I do. I'm a bailiff at a courthouse. They had somebody bring the bailiffs a package of donuts, and as I was going home for the day, it was Friday. I decided, what the hell, it's Friday. I'll have this be my cheat for the week. And I was just walking home, and it was summer, so I didn't have my big coat on, and I was in my uniform. And then my boss the next Monday is like, I heard that you walked home eating a donut in full uniform. And I'm like, yeah, what? It's like, you're perpetuating a stereotype. And we all just kind of looked at him and like, you're serious, right?
When the room full of cops don't give a shit.
Well, a lot of them are former cops. I was never a cop, but at the same time, we're all just kind of like, dude, who cares?
Either way, this guy knew about the not quite stereotype and decided to abuse it. Police impersonator arrested for stealing donut from Lehigh convenience store.
Oh wow. Dude, if you need your sugar and fried dough fixed that much, you're gonna impersonate a cop? Really?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? You don't have to pretend.
Let's find out what's wrong with him. This happened 2 days ago on January 18th, 2021. Investigators say a tip from a convenience store clerk about a stolen donut. A stolen donut. Let's emphasize that. A stolen donut. Led them to arrest a man accused of impersonating a police officer. The tip came from a 7-Eleven at 850 East Main Street in Lehigh on Sunday. That is, where is Lehigh? Utah. So,
land of the religiously suppressed.
According to an arrest report, police were told that a man wearing a, quote, sheriff's deputy jacket, unquote, had stolen a donut earlier in the day and left in a white Ford truck. Because that's what a sheriff's deputy drives, ladies and gentlemen, a white Ford truck.
Actually, you'd be surprised.
Yeah, it's Utah, so I'm not surprised. Lehigh police looked at the surveillance video of the truck and then tracked it down to a nearby motel parking lot. Officers were told it belonged to 47-year-old Daniel Mark Wright, who was staying in a room at the motel. Quote, officers knocked on the door and made contact with Wright as he opened the door and was asked to step outside. A female was also inside of the bedroom and was identified as Christian Olson. While the door was opened, I observed a green Salt Lake County Sheriff's jacket hanging in the entryway closet, a Lehigh police officer wrote in an arrest report. Wright admitted he was at the 7-Eleven, but refused to answer any questions about the truck, which officers determined was stolen. Ooh, the Daily Double. Police arrested Wright for impersonation of an officer, receiving or transfer of a stolen vehicle, and theft. Olson was arrested for receiving or transfer of a stolen vehicle.
You didn't charge him with the donut?
Well, that's the theft, Gray. Investigators have connected Olson and Wright to an arrest of Adalberto Ozeta. I apologize if I mispronounced that. Who was arrested over the weekend after a 60-mile pursuit across Salt Lake and Utah County. Why do I get the feeling that that's familiar? I think we might have done that. Oh, no, we haven't. That is a completely unrelated article. That sounded familiar to something. That sounded familiar to something that happened during the pre-YouTube days, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. To wrap up, arrest documents allege the trio is involved in, quote, extensive criminal activity, end quote, including vehicle burglary and vehicle theft. The arrest report also states Wright, Olson, and Ozeta are under federal racketeering investigation.
Okay, first of all, you're driving a stolen truck. Second of all, you're impersonating a police officer. Third, you know that you're probably up on charges for, like, federal crap.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you risk stealing a donut? I mean,
because I got the money. Because I got a sweet tooth.
I suppose if you know you're going to get caught, at least steal like a dozen donuts or something. Just
make it worth the while, man.
Make it worth the while. Yeah.
Yeah, go get the baker's dozen for fuck's sake. Get something more than just the one.
Or you can slip like the end of day donut guy, like $5 or $10, okay, and you can get a bag of donuts sometimes, okay, because a lot of places throw the donuts out after the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So, why not just do that? That's doable, totally doable. But no, you had to steal a donut.
One donut, one feckin' donut.
Well, hope it was the best damn donut you've ever had, man.
Because it's the
I don't
last
know
one
if they
you're
did.
gonna get as a free man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know if they send I don't know if they send Krispy Kreme to state prison.
Mm-mm-mm.
He's not getting a punch key.
Jesus Christ.
Not even so much as a fritter.
Moving on. Okay, I think we have something from Bangkok, of all places. I think this is the first time we talked about something in Bangkok. Bangkok, land of the world's most ridiculous name.
You just like saying it, don't you?
Sherlock, it's
No, the
called
most ridiculous
Bangkok.
There are
goddamn it,
places with stranger names.
Jade,
I cannot remember.
Are you forgetting the Animaniacs song about Lake Titicaca?
I also cannot at the moment remember the words to the chess musical. God damn it.
Anywho.
That was very popular.
So, airports.
They suck.
They do. Part of the thing about airports is that there's a runway, and only two kinds of vehicles are allowed on them. The airplanes that are taking off and landing, or the vehicles that are supposed to be transporting either passengers or cargo. Civilian vehicles. Actually, wait, there's a third vehicle. That's the security and the emergency vehicles, just in case. Civilian vehicles are not allowed. Well, one guy wanted to be the exception to that. Man drives car onto airport runway, says he took a wrong turn.
Oh God, of course he did.
Well, I mean, okay, look,
Should have taken a left at Albuquerque.
Denver and a few other like big international airports that are kind of like out of the way of town, out in kind of the sticks away from the major city. They have roads that will lead straight onto the tarmac, and if their security detail isn't, you know, diligent enough, they can, not block off those roads. And if they're doing construction on the area of the the runways, they could have construction crews come in and not cover and not put those signs back up to say, hey, don't go this way.
I'll be honest. There's been multiple times when they were extending the runways at O'Hare in Chicago, where people would just use the undone runway as like a pass through. They would just cut through the undone runway, and so it's not that uncommon. Also, the song was "One Night in Bangkok" by Murray Head.
There
That's
you
what I
go.
couldn't remember.
Okay, so let's take a look at this article. A motorist drove his car right onto the active airport runway in Thailand, allegedly under the influence of drugs. There it is. In the bizarre incident which unfolded on Tuesday the week of January 18th, 2021. I need to start remembering to say the dates right off the bat. Yes. This incident shocked airport staff, who watched as the man drove his car towards a plane which had just landed at the I apologize profusely for this. The airport in Bangkok. I'm so sorry.
Suvarnabhumi.
Thank you. Suvarnabhumi. Anywho, footage of the incident shows the man being escorted off the runway by airport officials, because yes, this got on Twitter. It was filmed by an unarmed member of the ground staff. So says the local news.
Unnamed member, not unarmed. Unnamed.
Oh, unnamed. God, my brain just had a fucking glitch. How what the fuck was that? I would have fucking hell. Anywho, I don't know how the car made it onto the runway, the person filming can be heard saying. The airport is such a valuable company, but they haven't even managed to stop the car from getting into the airport. This is such a safety and security breach. It's so terrible.
Dollar bet it's meth. Dollar bet it's a Taiwan or
we'll see.
It's a meth person.
According to the local news, airports of Thailand released a press statement saying the man was quickly apprehended. He was later identified as one... Oh boy.
Pratipat Masakul.
Thank you. This is why I have you on the show.
Mr. Oh, thank you.
Mr. Masakul, who, when apprehended by airport police, claimed that he had taken a wrong turn. Oh, really? Oh, look, Gray, you win. Officials say he was high on meth.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
You win the grand prize of 1 donut, slightly used.
Ew.
Squadron leader SS, cause fuck names, director of the airport, said that staff immediately intercepted and detained the driver to be investigated and prosecuted. While Mr. Masakul has been detained on suspicion of intruding into restricted areas, illegal possession of drugs, and illegally consuming and driving while under the influence of meth, airport officials are also trying to figure out how he managed to breach security and enter the runway.
Again, somebody probably just fucked up.
Yeah, it was a construction guy or a cleaning guy who left the fence open. It could be anybody.
Either that or it was Mr. Monocle going ba-na-ba-na-ba, ba-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Just crashed through the fucking fence.
Well, the picture didn't look like the car was that damaged, but it's hard to tell. So
It is hard to tell. I mean, the person filming this is a good distance away from the actual incident.
yeah, it doesn't look like there's any front end damage. So I'm gonna guess that it's
Someone probably fucked up security wise.
Yeah, somebody fucked up security wise.
Oh man. So we
You
move.
can get a lot of places if you look confident and you treat it like you're supposed to be there.
Yeah. Moving on, we're moving from Bangkok to Australia. Oh, Australia. It's like Florida, but it mutated.
That's not an idiot. Oh God, I can't do an Australian accent.
What the fuck was that
That's
accent?
not an idiot.
That's not an idiot. This is an idiot.
There we go.
That's not
No,
a
to
dog.
be
What the
fair,
hell was that?
here's the thing. There are a lot fewer insane drug addicts in Australia than there are in Florida.
I mean, you say that. We're not talking of drugs here, but oh, the things a man will do for his pussy.
Oh God.
Australian man storms animal shelter in full tactical gear.
What did they take his cat or something?
Let's find out. This happened today, January 20th, 2021. You were saying, Fanny, before I start?
If it were my cat and someone had taken my cat, fuck yes, I would do that.
I can't say I disagree. I don't have any tactical riot gear, but I can't say I probably wouldn't slip in a back door and take my pet out the back door.
Full admission. Before we get into the article, and sorry everybody, I know this is a slight weeds detour, but this is pertinent.
It's all right.
2 years back, when I was in Georgia, living with my mom, we had a cat, and her name was Spice. She was a very lovely cat, but she was an indoor-outdoor cat, and sometimes her desire for food and treats would lead her to the house next door. One day, one day she didn't come home. She was gone for over a week, then 2 weeks. And then on the third week, when we had started to give up hope, we saw her fucking face in the neighbor's window. They had taken her in. They tried to rename her, and they even put a collar on her.
Jesus.
As soon as my mom went to the door to ask them, to tell them, hey, that's our cat, give us back our cat, and they tried to argue, she bolted out of the house, into our yard, and into the door that I had open waiting for her. Which my mom said,
"Let me out! These people are freaks!"
Yeah, which my mom said, that's our cat, and if you take her again, we're calling the cops.
Good.
She's chipped.
Now that there is a reasonable way to get back your cat. However, let's talk about a less reasonable way. So,
I still say tactical gear is fine if you're rescuing a kitty.
Depends on the state the cat's in.
Yeah, at least stealth.
Anyway,
Okay.
an Australian man was arrested in the outer southeastern suburbs of Melbourne earlier this week after dressing in full tactical gear and ordering a staff member to tell him, quote, where all the cats were, end quote.
Where's all the pussy?
Where's the cats?
I couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
Okay, keep it together. Keep it together.
Okay. We'll try.
Identified as Tony Whitman, a 44-year-old father of 3 who had served in the Australian Army before a dishonorable discharge for, quote, failing to render efficient service.
I wonder why!
That could be anything.
Yeah, that could be anything, really.
The newest charges he's facing after this incident include kidnapping, false imprisonment, and armed robbery.
What?
Well, here's how this unfolded, okay?
It just gets better.
Just after 10:30 p.m. on Monday, Whitman stormed the animal shelter in full tactical gear while aiming a fully loaded assault rifle at a young female worker.
Okay,
Hmm?
the rifle is a step too far.
Yes.
Yeah.
He then tied her up at gunpoint and demanded she told him where they kept the cats. It seemed Whitman was looking for his own cat. Earlier in the day, it's reported Whitman went to the Lost Dogs home for Cranbourne West, where he was told that he would be able to pick up his cat the following day. But that wasn't soon enough for Whitman. Whitman was caught on Tuesday morning, and it's still unclear whether or not his mission to retrieve his cat was a successful one. What we do know is he has been denied bail. So thankfully, no one was hurt. Whitman's lawyer, Crystal Gomez Vasquez, is telling the court that he suffers from PTSD as well as multiple other physical injuries.
My biggest question here is, well, questions. One, why was he allowed to keep his shit? I thought that Australia was a little bit heavier on the gun and other shit control. Two, if he was already told he'd be getting his cat the next day, yes, I know, it's hard. You want your kitty. Your kids want their kitty. You want to make sure you get your pet back. But you've been told you're getting them back in the morning. Have a little patience.
Well, Fanny, I'm just gonna be a little advocating for this poor guy. It might be his therapy cat.
And that's where I was going to go with it. That's where I was going to go with it.
Okay, then aside from the rifle, everything else was essential to be done. Yes,
No.
sir. Yes, this poor man needed his cat, but please don't aim a rifle at young
Yeah,
people.
that's the other thing I have a problem with this here is now that you mention it, he was dishonorably discharged. Okay, maybe that was a PTSD related thing, maybe not. Okay, but dishonorably discharged. What's he doing with a full?
Which was
rifle?
my point exactly. It was like, why does he have?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
if it
they
were
should
here in the
be able to get that.
Why does he have riot gear?
if it was here in the States, that would be understandable. Anybody can get that stuff if they, want. But in Australia, they're a little bit more strict about that. How did he get it?
With great
riot
difficulty.
gear you can buy over the internet. Riot gear you can get anywhere. Okay, there's nothing wrong with having riot gear. The gun though, it's Australia, and Australia is very very tight on that stuff. So why the hell?
Which is what I just said. So where the fuck did he get the gun? Why the fuck does he have a gun? Why, if he was dishonorably discharged, does he even have his gun? So what's going on here? Did they just miss out? Did he go into the black market and order one illegally?
You don't know.
That we don't know. Yeah, it might be my guess, but at least we know. We're pretty sure that the cat was a therapy cat at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, it all makes sense. It makes too much sense otherwise.
So like, if you know this gentleman here, if a gentleman, and he probably even told them, that's my therapy cat, I need it back. If you have, so word out there to all of you people running shelters. Yes, we understand. You have to follow procedure and protocol. You have to follow policy. We all work in jobs where we have to follow policy. But if you can push to help someone whose therapy pet is in your possession for whatever reason, give them back their therapy pet. Even if all you do is just let them visit the therapy pet for a few hours and then say, okay, you can come get them in the morning. Do that at the very least.
Yeah,
don't be a dick.
Don't be a
probably
dick.
would have diffused this if they had let him visit the cat. That probably would have diffused this completely. But it's still. I will say that I understand the shelter people too, though, because there are plenty of Karens, okay, showing up at their at shelters, going, "Why can't I get my cat now?" Okay, because that happened.
Yeah,
but it's still, those are pretty obvious, though.
But those are obvious. That is different from a person who is clearly disturbed or who is clearly in mental distress, who needs their therapy pet.
So, just to be
there we are.
Just to be clear, we're not making fun of someone who requires a possible therapy animal.
nor are we making fun of this guy for suffering from PTSD and physical injuries. We're just baffled by, holy shit, he went to this extreme to get a therapy animal. You know, in hindsight, I probably should have put this in the hardcore material, but meh, fuck it.
But I will say this. I don't frown upon him for the tactical gear. I frown upon him for the use of the gun, but it's not his fault.
Yeah.
Well,
Again.
So there we go.
Again, I'm
Moving
just happy that no one was hurt. So,
Me too.
correct.
to wrap up the softcore article for the night, we wrap up with a Florida man story. Oh, fucking joy.
Florida man, how'd you fuck up today, Florida man?
Got in a tank and drove around the neighborhood. Why? Because fuck it.
Okay, then.
I am not shitting you.
Yeah.
You
that's-
know, I
that's
mean,
not-
okay, if this were like 25 years ago, Trade, that would have been shocking, but now it's just kind of a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
No, this is no longer shocking because of what was it, Tank Killer or whatever the guy was that made a tank. Okay.
Yeah.
You remember
He
Yeah,
made-
that.
they tore- Because like first there was the guy who
Killdozer.
broke into the National Guard armored division depot, stole a tank and tore ass across the town, and then shot himself when he got stuck.
Yeah.
Sad thing. But anyway.
Then there
but yeah,
then there was several other of those similar instances where people
Similar
would steal a
instances.
tank.
Yep, similar instances where people, usually disgruntled members of the armed forces, I hate to say, or former members of the armed forces. Again, I'm not showing disrespect to our people in uniform. I'm just saying that sometimes when people have an issue and they are told they can no longer serve our nation, sometimes they don't take it gracefully. Sometimes they
Yeah.
steal a tank.
Well,
Yeah,
And
sometimes-
then
yeah,
we
sometimes
had
it's even active duty people too. You know, they get pissed
Yeah.
off.
They
Mhm.
get
and then we had, like Gray said, the man who built his own tank, who wasn't in
pretty
the
much
military at
always
all.
just
He was
was
just this crazy psycho.
yeah,
He was a
like
concrete guy.
like I,
tankity,
Um,
tankity, tankity, tank.
like I
He
said,
was a concrete
Killdozer.
guy, made his own tank, tore up the downtown of whatever town it was. I don't remember which.
So
Anywho.
how is this
How is
guy
this
make
different?
himself? So how is this guy different from all the other people who've stolen tanks?
Well, let's take a look. This happened the week of January 13, 2021. This happened in Palmetto Bay. Residents of the usually quiet South Florida community of Palmetto Bay are buzzing after spotting one of their neighbors riding his military-style tank down the residential roads. Many were confused.
He had one. Does he collect it?
I don't
Just
know.
making my way downtown.
Making my way downtown.
How's it going? Oh, just fine, Frank. I'm heading to the grocery store. Wouldn't it be better to take the Suburban? Nah, I'm feeling like the tank today.
Sometimes it's just a tank day. Sometimes you want to take the Maserati. Sometimes you want to take the Winnebago. Sometimes you just want a fucking tank.
Oh, God.
Anyway, many were confused by the sight and wondered if it's even allowed, and apparently it is. The tanks belong to the person who lives on a gated property off Old Cutler Road. Despite the fact that the tank is illegal, it's too close for comfort for some neighbors. For the most part, it's unusual to say the very least, and with the present state of politics, it's concerning, said resident James Woodard.
I would probably say he's overreacting in any other state except Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, what, to be quite honest, if the guy has a tank museum license, because that's how you keep a bunch of tanks. You make a museum. You just make it a private museum that nobody ever goes to.
Here's the thing. You say this was the week of the 13th?
Yeah.
We all know what happened on the 13th. And we're not going to talk about it on the Trainwreck, but we
Ooh,
acknowledge
that's
that
a-
this happened on the exact same day.
That's actually a really good point.
Huh.
I didn't even think about that.
Anywho.
I
Anywho,
don't even want to know whose side
guy
it is.
decided to take his tank for a drive.
Yeah.
Who
Okay.
took a tank for a drive? How did that end?
Well, let's
Well,
take a
you
look.
know-
There's more to talk about. Calm your
Let's
tits.
go on. Keep going.
So a quick check on the internet reveals sites selling the heavy-duty machinery, sometimes for hundreds of thousands of dollars. The tanks in Palmetto Bay, the local news has been told, are British grade. So these are British tanks that somebody owns, and some guy that either knows the man or probably is the man himself just wanted to take it out for a fucking spin.
Yeah, America almost never puts the turd on the tank that far back.
Apparently, the local news tried to speak to the owner of the property, but was told through a security speaker at the gate that nobody was there to talk about it. Bullshit.
That's the polite rich Floridian way of saying fuck off.
Yeah. Those allowed inside the gate on the 13th were a security vehicle and 2 Miami-Dade police vehicles. The local news was told as long as the guns to the tank aren't functional, and apparently they aren't, tanks are allowed on the streets.
Yeah, you can't own a tank unless the gun has been spiked.
Yeah.
They basically hammer metal into it, and then they pour either molten metal or concrete into the barrel.
A Palmetto Bay code enforcement officer spent an hour on the property. He also documented some damage to a concrete curb which the tank allegedly caused. I'm sure that it can't go over a curb without destroying it, said resident John Gonzalez, who has lived in Palmetto Bay for 30 years.
You would actually be very surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is his purpose to, what, intimidate or just show off? Probably just show off, but I would have to disagree with that. If I get a vote, I'll vote against it, said Gonzalez. So at this point, the village of Palmetto Bay is looking into whether the owner of the tanks is in compliance with all codes. As far as the damage, that issue has been passed along to the county, and they'll have to make a determination as to whether he has to pay to fix it or not.
Okay, so what this is a guy on a private gated community that owns tanks. Let his friend or a relative or whatnot drive the tank around in the gated community, which is allowed, and a Karen got upset. Or a Stu. No, it's a guy, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's a guy.
We call those Chads.
Yeah. So a Chad got upset.
To be fair, yeah. I mean, when they interviewed the guy, he was apparently a mid-jog because he was just shirtless for all the world to see.
Classic Chad.
Yeah.
Yep. Pretty much.
You know, I can't stand people like that. Even if you have a rockin' bod, put a fucking shirt on.
Mm-hmm.
No one asked to see it.
Nope.
I don't care if it's hot. I get hot when I work out at the gym too. You don't see me pulling off my gym shirt.
Wear a sleeveless shirt, for fuck's sake. So yeah, fucking Florida. Ever willing to just one-up everybody with fucking tanks.
Yep.
And with that, the softcore material has come to an end. A little bit of a spike in there. Again, I probably should have put that Australian article in the hardcore material, but that's not to say I don't have plenty of hardcore material awaiting y'all. I've got some things to discuss. I got some things. But it's time for a break.
Break time!
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Trademark's Trainwreck, a show featured on Celestia Radio, all fandom all the time. Except when it's tanks and pussies.
What am I going to do with this banana? Banana split.
You and your
You need to
fucking
lay off the
bananas.
fucking bananas.
You have enough potassium for the night, Gray, I'm telling you. Anyway, welcome back, passengers, to Trademark's Trainwreck, featured on Celestia Radio, all fandom all the time. It's time to start the hardcore material. And what better way to start it than with the old chestnut of Roach Killer in Coffee. Now,
Dude.
What?
I want to put it out.
Pardon?
I want to put it out here first and foremost. Everyone's fine. No one is dead.
Well, we also don't do that. We don't talk about articles where somebody dies unless it is hilarious.
No, even
No,
then we
It's
don't.
never hilarious.
Even then, we try not to.
Thankfully, no one died here, so let's commence. Woman 70 filmed allegedly poisoning husband's coffee with roach killer multiple times.
Oh, I think I read this story.
This is another. At least it's not another incident of kids put fucking bleach in the cake and took it to school.
Oh god. Did we cover that, or was that off the top of your head?
No,
I don't
it was
remember
years
that.
before. It was years and years before the train wreck was even a glimmer in your eye.
Anyway,
But I remember it because I worked. But I remember it well.
Jeez. So, you heard that right. A 70-year-old woman has been arrested after being filmed allegedly poisoning her husband's coffee with ant and roach killer on more than one occasion. The incident occurred on January 12th when 70-year-old Suncha Tinerva of Queens in New York City was caught on video surveillance placing a white powdery substance from a bottle with a red cap and a yellow label into her husband's coffee. Okay, time out right there. That sounds like typical like coffee creamer, because there's like, I forget the brand, but there's like a coffee creamer that has a
Mate.
red lid and depending on the flavor, a yellow label.
Coffee mate.
Yeah,
Coffee Mate, thank you. But yeah, quote, Tinerva retrieved the bottle from the cabinet under the sink. Okay, there you go. There's the suspicious thing.
There you go.
And allegedly
Coffee Mate's
spiked.
usually in the fridge because it's...
Well, it
Yeah.
depends on which
Oh, wait,
version,
wait,
because
wait.
there's the
No,
cream
no,
version and
the
there's the
liquid
powder
is.
version.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anywho,
the powdered version is kept in the cupboard.
yes, not under the sink either way.
Usually above. Usually with the coffee cups.
Yes. So anyway, Tinerva retrieved the bottle from yes. She allegedly spiked her husband's coffee on 2 or 3 occasions. So says how did I miss that? Melinda Katz, the Queens District Attorney. On January 14th, 2021, at approximately 10:40 p.m., detectives recovered a bottle with a cap and yellow label from the spot under the sink. Authorities then discovered that the contents of the bottle allegedly contained 100% boric acid, a substance that is used to kill ants and roaches. People who have eaten boric acid have had nausea, vomiting, stomach aches, and diarrhea. Eating extreme amounts have resulted in a red, boiled lobster-like skin rash followed by skin loss.
Yep.
People who breathed in borax had a dry mouth, nose, and throat. Coughing, sore throat, shortness of breath, and nosebleeds have also been reported. This is according to the National Pesticide Information Center. Katz's office said that Tinerva's husband became sick, but thankfully did not die following the attempted poisonings. There you go. No, there you are, folks. Everyone's fine. Well, not Mrs. Tinerva, because she's getting the fuck out of here. Domestic violence is not limited to mental and physical abuse. The defendant in this case allegedly used deception to sicken her spouse, says D.A. Katz in a statement. Tinerva has since been arraigned before Queens Criminal Court Judge Jeffrey Gershuni on charges of attempted assault in the second degree, reckless endangerment.
It's pronounced Gershwin.
Huh?
That name is pronounced Gershwin.
How's it pronounced Gershwin? It doesn't have a fucking W. It's Gershuni.
No, trust me, it's
Tell me how that's pronounced Gershwin.
German.
The U and the Y.
It's yeah.
It's a diphthong. Gershwin.
Okay. I'll just call him Jeff. Because I refuse to accept that. My IC Gershuni, okay? I apologize. Anywho, anyway, the charges are attempted assault in the second degree, reckless endangerment in the second degree, and criminal possession of a weapon in the fourth degree, because she used the fucking thing as a weapon. Judge Jeff ordered Tinerva to return to court later this year on March 10th, and if convicted, Tinerva could face up to 4 years in prison.
Wait, she made bail or he let her out?
Apparently.
God almighty. Attempted
Dude.
murder and you make bail.
She's 70 years old.
She tried to
And
poison
yet
her
she's-
husband.
She tried to poison her husband.
This is true, but like, house arrest at least. But like, not full on jail just yet.
I would argue that there's something else going on here. She's 70 years old. How long she been with her husband, and what's the relationship been like?
And how long has she been trying to poison him? What does he do? What is her
Yeah,
justification?
why is
for
she?
this?
Yeah, right. Why is she poisoning him? Because that's a rather drastic step.
Well, according
Like-
to
Like,
Did he inherit some money? Is that what happened? You know what happened here?
I have no idea. There is no context as to the relationship here. There's not even a context as to how the fucking police got involved and started filming everything. Let me check another article, just in case. Let's see if there's some sort of information. Nope, this is just a copy paste.
To go slightly actual Sherlock here.
Oh boy, here we go.
The weapon in question is kind of telling, because as I've said before, poison isn't something you use if you're like thinking, if you're like at the moment thinking I should kill this person or I need to defend myself. Poison is something
Right.
you got to plan for. Poison
Right.
Poison is messy. It might not work, as we see in this instance, and it's not pretty either. So you have to really want to think about this and really want to do it.
Yeah.
I have to wonder if she took out an insurance policy on her husband. I mean, that's the thing
which
that
is
comes
hard to
mind.
do nowadays without the other party knowing.
Correct. Still doable though.
And we're not going to devolve into Greymane gives you advice and how to fucking break the
No,
law.
no, I'm not. No, I'm not going to specify how she should have done this. So
No.
No, we don't do that.
We're not gonna have another episode of Greymane shows us how psychotic he is.
You know, every
am
time
not
he brings this
psychotic.
stuff up, I'm reminded of a South Park episode years ago. Informative murder porn.
What?
Oh God.
Anywho, before we stray any further, got another case of don't worry, everyone's fine. Because holy
A
fuck.
lot of those.
No, I gotta say that specifically for this. In fact, let me just double check right here, and Future Trade will inform you whether or not I have to take this article out. I need to make sure. No, it should be fine. It should be fine. Okay, so people with drones, take note. Don't do this shit.
Oh Lord.
Man pleads guilty after his drone crashed into a police helicopter.
Oh, God.
This happened the week of January 15th, 2021. A California man pleaded guilty to a federal charge for crashing his drone into a Los Angeles Police Department helicopter. On September 18th, Andrew Rene Hernandez, 22, heard sirens and a police helicopter flying near his Hollywood home, around midnight. He wanted to see what was going on, so he launched his drone to get a closer look. As he piloted his drone near the helicopter, the pilot saw it and took evasive action, because here's the thing, you don't fuck with helicopters. The pilot could not get out of the way, and the drone crashed into the helicopter, forcing it to make an emergency landing.
Oh God.
While
He
the
had to auto-rotate the helicopter because
Kid,
of a drone.
Don't fucking. If you want to know what the fuck is happening when the cops show up at the house down the road, don't launch your drone. Go to your TV and turn on the 6 o'clock news.
yeah, do what we're doing right now. Read the news.
Buy
Fuck's
a
sake.
police scanner, and there are plenty of police scanner apps on the internet.
So again, it could have been much worse. The most that happened here was that the aircraft suffered some damage to its fuselage. So it could have been far worse. They made an emergency landing. Everyone's fine. Just damage to the helicopter.
You know, okay, I'm sorry, guys, but because it's the LAPD, I'm going to say bullshit. Yeah, he probably did start flying his drone when he shouldn't have, but I'm going to guess that the pilot just crashed into the drone and he's trying to blame it on the guys. Like, he flew his drone into me. You crashed into it. Yeah, well, that's not what I'm going to tell the judge.
You know, that's also a possibility.
It could be, but again, he shouldn't have been flying his drone anywhere near a fucking helicopter to begin with. It's the same reason why you don't fly a drone anywhere near a prison. No good can come of it.
Yeah,
when the sirens go off, when the sirens are coming in your neighborhood, you get all of your shit out of the yard and out of the air, and you go in your house.
Yeah, you hide, fucker. Anyway, despite the evasive efforts, the drone struck the helicopter, forcing the pilot to initiate an emergency landing. According to an affidavit filed with a criminal complaint in this case, if the drone had struck the helicopter's main rotor instead of the fuselage, it could have taken the helicopter down. So says the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Central District of California.
Bullshit. I'm sorry. Okay.
That was awesome.
You know, there are stories. There are stories from Vietnam of helicopters taking off and cutting things in half and flying away. Okay, a drone is not going to knock. I'm sorry, but unless you crash it into a badly tightened Jesus nut, okay, you're not downing a helicopter with a personal drone. You're not doing that. That just is not possible. Okay, they don't have enough mass. Okay, as far as that blade is concerned, as far as that rotor is concerned, tail rotor, main rotor, it doesn't matter. That does not have enough mass. It's a piece of paper as far as helicopter is concerned.
Sorry, what did you call it?
The Jesus nut.
I wasn't aware Jesus donated his nuts to help construct helicopters.
The Jesus nut is a nut that is on top of the rotor blades that holds the entire rotor blade assembly together.
Oh, okay. Anyway, continue.
Basically, you lose that thing. Yeah, I actually kind of call bullshit that the pilot even had to make an emergency landing after getting hit on the fuselage by that drone.
Here's the thing: if he's following FAA rules, okay,
protocols, he has to. Yeah, but that thing.
Yeah.
I think that thing scuffed its paint.
Yes, he dented it. That's what this amounts to. He dented his helicopter, and and he's all pissy about it.
Well, either way, in spite of that, as part of a plea deal with prosecutors, Hernandez agreed to plead guilty to one misdemeanor count of unsafe operation of an unmanned aircraft and faces up to 1 year behind bars. Officials said that it's the first criminal conviction in the U.S. for the unsafe operation of an unmanned aircraft. Yay?
This is an example case. That's what this is all about. This is an example case.
And so it's a misdemeanor with a possible 1 year sentence. He's not gonna get sentenced to prison.
Yeah, he's gonna get a fine.
He'll get probation.
He'll get probation. He'll get a fine. And a drone restriction too. He'll get a drone restriction. He won't be able to fly any unmanned vehicles for X amount of time.
Yep.
If that even exists, that's not a law yet. They'd have to make that. They'd have to have the California legislature put that in.
We'll see what happens.
So, yeah, this is a load. This is a total load. I mean, yeah, he was not smart, but like everything else about this is just fucking stupid.
Well, speaking of fucking stupid, I got one for you. This is our penultimate article for the hardcore material tonight. Oh boy. I have heard of stories of people getting fired and being very angry. But holy shit. Fired Mercedes employee steals earth mover, destroys 70 company vehicles in revenge.
Nice!
Nice! Wow.
I have pictures.
Oh, revenge!
I have pictures. Look at this picture here. Look at this fucking picture.
Look at that.
Wow.
This happened the week of January 17th, 2021. The Mercedes-Benz
Oh.
plant in Spain had quite an eventful New Year's Eve after one former employee stormed inside one of their plants and damaged property worth $6 million. This is a 38-year-old former Mercedes-Benz employee who consciously broke inside of a plant in Vitoria, Spain, with help of a Caterpillar loader. According to reports, he stole the digger machine from a nearby construction company to drive to the plant in vengeance of a previous dispute regarding his short-term employment in 2016 and 2007. It's 2021, dude. Let it go.
Wow, yeah, this is premeditated.
This is...
This guy, yeah.
He's been stewing on this for years.
Yeah. Fucking hell, by this time, he's probably gotten a new job. Well, apparently he had... Let's take a look further into this case. The ex-employee managed to destroy about 70 V-Class vans and had plans to enter the assembly line where he could have caused even greater damage by attacking the newly assembled vehicles too. However, the intruder was unsuccessful in reaching the brand new vehicles and continued causing mass wreckage of numerous vans outside of the main plant building. The Basque Regional Police person reported that, quote, he used the earth mover to attack 50 people carriers that were in the car park. However, a representative of the Mercedes-Benz plant, Inaki Andres Lozores, contradicted with the statement, stating that about 70 vehicles were wrecked by the attacker's rage. So there may be some inflation here.
That's 20 vehicles different. That's a lot of vehicles. So
That's a lot of money, too.
Right, that's a lot of money. And the police missed 20 extra vehicles? I don't think so. I think there's something else.
Spain isn't that incompetent, guys.
Like
Correct.
I said, maybe some inflation here.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, Inaki also provided a little closure on the matter, saying that the ex-employee had a relatively shorter employment period between 2016 and 2017 and was visibly cold with the company executives. He had some frustration, not only with the management, but with the employees, end quote. Inaki also told that the assistants of the JPC, quote, he also tried to enter the factory floor, end quote. The attack initiated early Thursday of that week, which is why, fortunately, the plant was active with a few managerial and security staff who were not reportedly hurt by the actions. Production was not running, which is why much of the staff was absent, and many new assembled passenger carriers were saved from the rage of the ex-worker.
Well, I mean, it's all just a bunch of Mercedes vans. Nothing of great value was lost.
In all fairness, he
Just
waited.
$6 million.
Yeah.
That's just what Mercedes is like, giving the value for the product itself. I'm saying that not much value was lost aesthetically or mechanically.
Ouch.
So our Mercedes-Benz has been going downhill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they'll reproduce those vans easily enough too. They'll pump those out.
So according to some reports, the security guard had to fire a few shots to halt this man's insane action in order for the police to arrest him peacefully.
Holy shit, the security guard actually had a piece in Spain? Wow. I'm not even allowed to carry a gun at my security job.
Yeah, but this is Mercedes-Benz we're talking about, so they probably managed to fork over a bit of cash to bend the rules.
The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plane. Now get out the digger or feel the pain, motherfucker.
Oh, it's almost a backhoe. It's like one half of a backhoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bulldozer.
Yeah, it's a bulldozer basically.
Inaki reported, quote, during the journey between the two sites, he caused other damage. Police arrived at the scene of the damage to find that the man at the wheel of the JCB smashing into the parked vehicles. He was held on suspicion of causing criminal damage.
Wait, what?
Suspicion?
Suspicion.
Really?
Okay. Suspicion,
Well, we
yes.
caught you in this bulldozer wrecking these vehicles, but we can't definitively.
We can
We
only
can't
suspect
prove-
that it's you.
We can only
We can only
suspect.
suspect that it's you.
Okay.
Oh my God.
The V
What's
class.
next, or what's last?
Just to wrap up this article here. The V-Class van by the gigantic automobile company is a highly attractive vehicle. La-di-da-di-da. This event
No, it's
follows
No,
just some unrelated stuff. Yeah.
For those of you wondering, because I don't know if Trey's linking these in the YouTube channels, but
Oh, I am.
a Mercedes class van. It looks like a Dodge Caravan. It looks like Dodge Caravan's more uptight, richer German cousin.
Honestly, they all look like ugly. They all look uglier than the box truck that we use at my job.
It's like a Dodge Caravan and a Toyota Scion Cube had a child.
And decided it was pretentious and snooty.
Now,
Yes.
that one he killed wasn't a V series. That one in the middle of the page is actually a Sprinter, which is an entirely different van. But yeah, they're ugly as shit. There's a reason people who do the tiny house live out of their van thing don't buy these. A lot of reasons.
So one last article for the night. Oh boy, I never thought that we'd come back to this. To saying one specific fucking name.
Oh god.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh.
What kind of goop do you have for us now?
What did Pepper do?
Okay, I'm gonna give some context
fuck
to
did
our.
Pepper do?
I'm gonna give some context to our YouTube audience and to those who, in general, haven't heard of our show or have never heard of Goop. So, to all two of you who don't know what Goop is Gwyneth Paltrow's brand, and it's for
Homeopathic brand. Yeah.
It's a homeopathic brand, and she offers some certain products. Some of them are okay, and then there are some that are full-on homeopathic, like this spritz bottle that's got specific rocks that are supposed to help you and shit. And then she sells like
It's a
fucking...
fancy water bottle that puts stones out of her garden in.
And then she sells fucking gold Not shitting you. Sorry, gold I have to be very specific. And then she sells...
And there goes the YouTube monetization.
Oh,
We've been cussing all freaking night. I don't think we're gonna get monetized for this.
We're gonna have to be censored because he can't say that word.
well, probably yes.
Moving on.
I'm probably gonna have to censor a majority of this next article because I'm going to be talking about a certain candle that was sold by Gwyneth Paltrow that exploded in a UK woman's home. Again, everyone's fine.
Exploded.
Exploded.
Candles don't explode.
Trade. The title of this episode is Everyone's Fine.
Everyone's what? You lagged out.
Everyone's fine.
Everyone's fine. That's good.
Okay, Trey, this is some Looney Tunes shit you're talking about here right now. This is the classic gag where the two bumbling bad guys, one dumber than the other, and one says to the dumb one, "Hey, give me one of those candles," and he lights it, and it's a stick of fucking dynamite.
Except in this case, it's well, we'll see. So to start off, I think we have a little joke here. This Gwyneth Paltrow candle did not pass the smell test, according to a report. And I'm going to say the actual name of this candle. This is the actual name of this candle, so if Google fucking has a conniption fit, come fight me. This smells like my vagina candle. I had to pause for effect there.
I don't want a cooch candle, please. I really don't want a cooch candle. I don't want a cooch candle. What the fuck?
Moving on.
Gwyneth. What the hell?
Why?
So
we knew this existed, people.
Yes.
Let's just continue on.
So this candle that this actress peddles on Goop exploded into flames in the living room of a UK woman who won the odoriferous product in a quiz.
So the cooch candle had a yeast infection.
Ew!
Now,
You're
now I have-
welcome, female listeners. We've all experienced. Every woman listening to this episode has felt this and experienced this.
The candle exploded.
Last time I checked, yeast infections don't explode.
No, but they fucking burn like hell. They're really bad.
Moving on. The candle exploded
that
and
is a
emitted
pretty good idea.
huge flames with bits flying everywhere. So says Jody Thompson, 50 years old. Quote, I've never seen anything like it. The whole thing was ablaze and it was too hot to touch. There was an inferno in the room, the media consultant from Kilburn, North London added. This candle costed $75, by the way. Thompson, who lives with her partner, David Snow, said they threw the flaming candle out the front door. It could have burned the place down. It could have burned the place down. It was scary at the time, but funny looking back that Gwyneth's vagina candle exploded in my living room, she said.
Oh my god.
Again. Every woman has experienced this situation.
Paltrow.
What on earth has been put into this candle that makes it turn into a fireball? I mean,
Well, I'm glad you asked. Scent notes include geranium, citrusy bergamot, and cedar absolutes juxtaposed with damask rose and ambret seed.
those were words.
Yes,
Those were words.
Yes.
those were words. Here is
No,
a
this has to.
go on.
This has to be a combination of the oils involved in creating the candle as well as the wax,
Probably.
and
So
possibly the wick.
So
possibly trapped moisture in the candle.
here's
I'll go with that.
here's the product blurb from
Shows
the
a picture
website.
of the cooch candle.
Well, while you do that, here's a product blurb from the website. This candle started as a joke between perfumer Douglas Little and Gwyneth Paltrow, reads the website. The two were working on a fragrance and she blurted out, "Oh, this smells like a vagina." But evolved into a funny, gorgeous, sexy, and beautifully unexpected scent that turned out to be perfect as a candle.
The only thing I'll say about this is that this was reported by The Sun. Okay.
Yeah.
There is
Okay.
some question.
mean,
So I gotta question the source. Oh, you click on that. Oh, they show the candle.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Go
okay.
to that picture in the chat, please.
Oh, fucking hell. It's not gonna look like what you're thinking it looks like. It's gonna look
No.
like a candle.
Hold on.
Even so, I want to know, other than the smell, what the fuck is so special about this thing?
I want to point out that what in the holy...
It's just a black candle.
I guess.
It's a candle in a black cup.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So,
this costs
$75.
$75. Well, wait, it might
I
not
don't
be
want-
black
I don't
cup
want
because
some-
remember that is what's left over after the thing was caught on fire.
Nah, I think it's black.
All right, so if you want to pay $70 to smell Pepper Potts's coat, I'm sorry, we'll have to definitely bleep that.
Yeah, please.
But yeah, sorry, cooch. If you want to pay $70 for Pepper Potts to smell Pepper Potts' cooch, and then potentially blow up your house, there you go.
I want to point out that this is the second time in my life that I've come across this because, shout out to YouTuber, Critical. I think, I don't remember his actual YouTuber name. Actually, no. Penguin Zero, who is otherwise known as Critical, you know. What's up, everybody? It's Critical. Let's work some shit. Just a guy who has been very vocal about YouTube's reputation and talk about random ass stuff, including dildos. Like, he's very open about what he wants to talk about, and he doesn't give a shit, and I fully well respect that. He did a video some time ago where he actually lit up a candle that was two candles actually from Gwyneth Paltrow, and he was just like, "Holy fuck, smells like shit." He was just like, "Holy fuck." He was just, ugh. Oh, it was the video where he talked about the PogChamp emote on Twitch disappeared. I actually got that right here. Yeah, look up PogChamp is gone, and you'll find Critical just stopping his little explanation as to what PogChamp is, who PogChamp is, and what's going on. To gag at, like, he's got 2 candles. What are they? One of them is the other candle was, "This smells like my orgasm."
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh dear.
Do you think Gwyneth is hanging around Robert Downey Jr. too long during the film of the Marvel movies?
Again, Pepper, why? Pepper, why?
Oh.
She was married to Tony for 5 years.
Just burn the shit in your toilet. Okay, just burn the shit in your toilet.
No, if you want to throw away $70, don't buy this shit.
Oh man, holy shit.
Can we finish this up? I don't want to do this. I don't want to talk about this one anymore. This is just irritating, and this is letting me know way more about Gwyneth Paltrow than I really ever wanted to. I will not lie, she's still really hot, but I don't want to know about this.
The woman's sexy, but she should really have thought this goop thing through. Anywho, we're done. Well, I noted last week was dour, but this week, we ended with a bang.
I'm gonna take my bananas and go.
Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this episode. Thank you for listening to this episode of Trademark's Trainwreck, a show featured on Celestia Radio, all fandom all the time. With me here has been RandomGreymane.
For the record, my bananas smell like bananas.
Sherlock.
Picked the wrong month to stop drinking.
and the fangirl.
We must reiterate for everyone else. Everyone is fine.
Oh, God. Okay. Once again, folks, this show is affiliated with Celestia Radio. Our theme song was created by Marivex, and our banner was created by Court Awesome, both of whom you can find their respective social media in the description. You can find all of our social media in the description, actually. If you look down there, you can also find the links to all these articles that we've discussed. So with that, my name is Trademark, and good night.